Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode.
Yo, it's B Class with the classic codes. We got another reaction today. But before I get started, you know what I need you to do. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Comment as you go along with the video so I can have a conversation with you. Because we got to crack these codes, man. Today, finna slide over to Anton Daniels' channel. He got a short video reviewing the ladies' take on TikTok. I'll drop the credits for both of them in the description below. But, man, let's tap in. Let's not waste no time. Let's see what they talking about. Yes, Lord.
Ladies, this is not a drill. The men are grifting. The men are in the middle of a migration. The he-man, woman haters of TikTok are slowly switching up their content. They are slowly switching up their content. Another mutual and I were having a conversation in the DMs talking about, have you noticed? And then another mutual of mine made a video today talking about it. And I'm just like, I've been noticing it, but I'm just like, at first, I just kind of chalked it up to the conversation or the topic at hand that they were talking about were so common sense that the only side to be on was the woman's side. The only side to be on in the discussion was the woman's side. But I'm seeing a pattern. A pattern is beginning to emerge. And to that I say, you can't trick me. You can't trick me. I see y'all. Ladies.
Let me tap into what she's saying right now with her little theory before Anton even provide any of his take. This is my first time watching this video, so this is my authentic take on this. But I don't believe that red pill men are like switching up or doing anything. I think they've just become more graceful over time. I think red pill men came out overcompensating from being people who didn't have microphones for so long and just delivering a lot of the truths with blunt force trauma. And I think you got a lot more red pill men now that are simply just taking more of a reserved approach because they're either situated as far as women is concerned, as far as how they want to deal with women. They're either situated already or they've gotten to the point where they're just fed up and don't really care. And so they just delivering things with a little bit more poise, a little bit more finesse, and they saying the same shit. So I don't really think there's any tricking or any foolery going on. That's just my opinion, but let's continue.
Ladies, before y'all get to double tapping, before y'all get too excited, go watch his old videos. Go watch his old videos. Because here's my thing, right? I'm not saying that people cannot grow and learn and switch their position, reshape their thinking, right? But I think along with reshaping your thinking and your perspective and changing your stance on certain subjects, you need to address that change, right? For me, this is my personal opinion, right? So if I have an ideology that I've been steadfast and I've been double, triple downing on before, and then one day I'm presented with new information that now causes me to rethink my position, I'm going to say, you know what, y'all? I used to believe this and this thing opened my eyes and now I see the error in my ways. But
I need an example from this woman. I need an example. She's speaking very vaguely and it's hard to really get what she's going for. I need an example.
Not happening. They're just they just creeping in like, did they see us? And they're going to come in, they're going to sit down, they're going to pour themselves a glass of wine. They're going to fucking cross their legs and act like they've been in here the whole fucking time.
Problem with her, and I don't know who these content creators are on TikTok because I guess they got TikTok wars in the same way that they do on every other platform. And thank you guys for sending this to me in my email. I always like to give credit to the content creators. That's just the right thing to do, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. You always give credit to the content creator. So if y'all want to go and check out her content, this is the first time, I believe, I'm not sure, because I react to a lot of content. But if this is the first time that you've seen her, then go and check out her platform because the link is down in the description of this video. I always give credit. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, teach only 40% off your first order plus 20% off a life. Now, I'm gonna slice this down in a few different ways, but I'm reacting to it from the lens of a person that has also been labeled red pill content, which I don't know what red pill content is. Red pill is applicable to literally anything in life. If you come to the realization of how money truly works versus what they've been preaching to you, then you've been red pilled, right? If you wake up to the idea that, wait a minute, liberals and Democrats have been using me for my vote, but the black community has never gotten anything for it, maybe I should consider both sides are becoming independent. That means that you've woken up, right? Red pill in its essence is basically realizing the truth and the reality of the situation, and however it is that you react to it, right? And then to add additional context to that, you'll often have a person that goes extreme left or extreme right. So you'll see people or women that become extreme feminists and say we need to completely decenter men, and we need to remove ourselves and all of this stuff. And then you'll see men say that I hate these hoes and never get with a woman and just bust them down and leave them or whatever, so on and so forth. So they'll take the most extreme of a person and then say, hey, they red pill, when you can individually hold people accountable for what it is that they do, because the ultimate goal is to bring families together. The ultimate goal is to save the children by having two-parent households that are born within wedlock. The ultimate goal is to not have broken households and relationships and people decide that they want to go this way and go that way, and then they ultimately don't find happiness. And I think that we're missing the plot. Does she have a correct perspective? Yes, but you also have to throw in there, if her perspective is correct, then you also have to evaluate if her premise is correct. So I'll give you an example. Let's assume that a guy never held women accountable, or never spoke about women, or never was an advocate for men's rights, but then at the same time, he just gave women everything that they wanted to know, and he pandered from the beginning. And you never actually seen anything from the past that would show that he was against women or he was red-pilled or any of that type of stuff. Let's say he's been pandering to women since he got on the internet. Does that make it good? Does that make it right? Does that mean that women that are in a certain boat should support him? Because we've seen tons of content creators from the past and today, and we know that as long as they continue to pander to women and tell them what they want to hear, then women are going to support and give over their money and their dollars. So if the intention, and this is the part that she missed, because there are a lot of people that switch their content, there are a lot of people that evolve and change their mindset, there are a lot of people that go this way or go that way. I've seen people switch from, you know what I'm saying, liberal to Republican. I've seen people go from anti-family to finally finding a woman that adds value into his life based off of his principles, and he gets married. Does that mean that the premise isn't correct? Does that mean that the intention is not right? It has nothing to do about what the previous content is. Let me go ahead and remove this, all right? It has nothing to do with whether or not their previous content. People are supposed to evolve. People are supposed to grow. People are supposed to switch sides and do this and do that when they get new information that then informs them. You know, when their life changes, then you evolve. Now, in a general sense, I would never tell a guy to go and become a feminist, right? The part that makes her right about this conversation is that if you are doing it solely for the purpose of attracting a new audience and getting money, then I think that you should also hold the people that's been pandering to y'all in the beginning that never actually is a reflection of the thing that they're advocating for. And I'm not going to name no names. I've seen 1,000 of them, and we know who they are and where they are. But the point is that I think the bigger issue is that women are so easily finessed. Are y'all getting the results? Are y'all getting the right information? And are y'all actually having success from the advice that other women or guys that are pandering to y'all in the first place are giving y'all? And if not, then is the purpose just to make money, or is the purpose actually to fix our families? Hold on.
I get where he's going. He's saying, like, I think what's more important is just to measure the intentions. You know what I mean? Like, don't necessarily lean into the fact that somebody is showing what you call a contradiction or inconsistency or some new behavior. They could genuinely be growing, or, you know, they could be understanding pivoting this way is potentially profitable, and I'm out here for that bag. So he's saying measure the intentions, and I can agree with that. I think you should just measure the intentions, especially when you talk about your spiritual diet and the things that you intake on a daily basis. You want to make sure that you're not ingesting, you know, impurity on a regular basis, because it, you know, ultimately is going to give you diminishing return. So I could rock with where Anton going on his take on what she said. I'm not going to necessarily say the woman is right or wrong, because she was just so vague. Maybe if I had a specific example, I could properly respond to her. But without like a real example, I think it's hard for me to even feel like I agree or disagree with her at all.
Hold ourselves accountable, go back to traditional values, and then fix whatever it is, the issues and the trauma before you get into a new relationship. Somebody can hold you accountable without necessarily being far right or far left. Somebody can then agree with a woman without them necessarily having to pander. And I think that, and again, I'm speaking on this in a general sense. I don't even know who she's referring to. I've seen her say fresh and fit. I've seen it like appear down in the bottom. It's saying that even fresh and fit is evolving and trying to grift over and stuff like that. Nah, I don't know about that. I have not seen any content from Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit has always been advocates for leveling up, getting to your money, get the bag, working out, and all of that stuff. So I haven't seen that from Fresh and Fit. I don't know what they're watching. I don't know what kind of clips that they being sent. I haven't seen that at all. But I think that you are supposed to evolve. You're not supposed to beat a dead horse. You're not supposed to say the same message over and over again. And I think that new information, cultural shifts, changes, popularity, popular culture, all of that stuff is supposed to inform your decision on whether or not you then go this way or you go that way. That's just my opinion, anyways. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Again, I always like to give a
yeah. So let me lock in. Like I said, yeah, we're gonna go with a majority draw on this one. You know, the judge is gonna call it majority draw. My take on this one, because Shorty was just a little too vague for me, you know, saying that men was switching up. I need to see an example of somebody, a content creator or a video, you know, old video to a new video, to see somebody taking two different positions on something to where, you know, it seems like they being, you know, disingenuous. But without a real example, I ain't got too much more to say on this one, man. If y'all don't do nothing else, make sure y'all do one thing for me. Stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart and that hardened